Very good morning to you. If you just joined the action, it's Inflight Dubai here in the UAE, the jewel of the skydiving world. And this is now the double A category. Fly Spot Chicks are the first team.
So we have 8 teams competing in the double A categories. So we have actually 3 women's team competing there. We have the Fly Spot Chicks that we're watching now from Warsaw. We have the SR girls, and we have the Hurricane Factory Chicks.
So Fly Spot from Poland. There was a tunnel competition there last week, wasn't there?
I believe so. I think it was the
Little mini
nationals, or
Yeah.
it seems like it was like a national competition, maybe.
I saw some things on Facebook about it.
I did so. Yeah, I think it's really great that more and more tunnel are hosting like even more regional or national level competition, because that's what the sports needs.
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna make it grow and like give people a chance to get their game on and get going.
There's another one in Rayford, North Carolina, a free fly tunnel event next month at Parkley XP.
Absolutely, and that's gonna be an interesting one. They're testing out some new formats and experimenting with funny disciplines, so it's gonna be an interesting one to look at. Up next, we have Academy 2. So
Yes.
the kids that we were talking about earlier is coming from Aerocart, with a younger lineup. And so yeah, part of this process that Aerocart and Françoise have been putting together of really trying to help out kids and make them participate to those competitions.
But the one in green,
We do have a bigger person in there. I'm not sure exactly what's up with that. I'm going to have to look into it real quick. And something funny is that some of the parents from those kids are also competing in the competition.
Right.
It's
incredible.
A.
What you'll see this in a moment. That formation there, where you've got to have the leg grip and the arm grip with a different size of person, that makes it really tricky. Look there. Look at that.
It does look tricky,
yeah.
doesn't it?
After this, we're going to go the Hurricane Factory Chicks, aren't we? I believe.
Okay, so it was actually Marin Ferré, their coach, who was replacing one of the kids who couldn't come. So he was obliged to put an oversuit to adapt his speed to the fall rate of the kids. All right, and next up, the Hurricane Factory Chicks. And I don't know if you recognize one of those ladies, but she was part of one of your big favorite in Dynamic Two-Way.
She was indeed, Judy.
In the team Ginger and Fred. She flew one round in high heels in Dynamic in Prague. She's also a very well-rounded skydiver, and we had the chance to interview her in the studio in Prague, and she's so humble and nice, and such a talented flyer as well.
She's incredible. She's absolutely incredible flyer. With what she was doing there, with flying in the high heels and catching the partner as they came through the door, it was absolutely probably the most emotional part of the competition.
Yeah.
Here they go now. They've been here in Dubai for the last 4 days. They've been having a great time. They've been in the malls shopping. They've been on the beach. They've been all over Facebook with their antics. Look, they're good skydivers too. They've got a good. Remember, there's money to be made in every category too. We've just got a shout out here to Nick Grillick, good friend Nick from Cyprus, and also Carolina Turbo XP. They're watching all in the States and they're
Cookie
cheering us on.
representer now.
Yeah.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick. Hope you're well, my friend. Big high fives there from the Hurricane Factory Chicks. Now, this Czech team here, I should have looked at this before I tried to pronounce it. Hvzdy? BS?
Vzbzdi?
Hvezdy. Good luck with that
If you know how to pronounce that, send us a vocal message.
Yeah, send us a voice message on that one for our Czech friends. Ahoy, jak se máš? Czech BS are this next double A team. Look at this exit into the tunnel. At the briefing last night, Chief Judge of FS, Pete Allen, was talking about this entrance into the tunnel, and all the top teams use it now just like an exit from an aircraft door. And he was saying some of the least experienced teams, if they didn't feel comfortable putting themselves all through the door at once, just to walk in and build the first formation when they were inside. But obviously we've not seen anybody do that yet. We might see when we get down to the A category.
So it might seem just like a little detail, but you can see how like they have white gloves on black jumpsuit, and you'll see most of the team having this big contrast of colors between the gloves they're wearing and the jumpsuit. And they're not wearing gloves because they're afraid to be cold in there. It's really something to help the judge see the point and making sure the point is there or not. So it's one of those little closing tips that that you can use to make yourself
They
more
were
efficient.
recommended in the competitor packs to all wear white gloves. These judges, especially when the teams are turning points fast, for them to see that the formation is complete, all the grips are in place before they break and then move on to the next point, it's important to have that contrast of colours. Good shot there of the tunnel. We can see the camera crews and this great crane shot panning round over the audience. Leslie Gale there just writing her bit for Skydive Mag. She'll be in the studio with us very shortly to chat about FS, and we'll have Kurt Cable as well. But here's a second of the UK teams. Expat Fury.
Expat Fury. So they're actually a funny story here. They said that they're a brunch decider team. They're a group of UK skydivers who all emigrated to the Middle East or Asia, and for a friend's birthday they were having brunch and kind of realizing they were all in the area and thinking maybe they should do a team. So they all flew to Bahrain to have another party and another brunch where they saw a poster for the Clash of Champions competition. They were like, well, let's do that as well. So they booked their tips, and here they are. And the team is made up from like really different kind of background. We have a free flyer here there, Andy Myers, who's also representing Great Britain in free fly with Team Euphoria. We have some belly flyers, more traditional belly flyers in there, some four-way competitors. So interesting lineup.
Expat Fury there from Great Britain, and we have Vertical next to UAE, another local team.
Vertigo.
Now this is a couple of pilots in here for Emirates, I know. Alan Hodge there in the white suit. He's about to move up next season into the pro category in canopy piloting. He's been performing in the intermediates, or the advanced as we call it. And directly after this, we have our first Dubai International Swoop League of the year. In fact, it's the day after this competition it starts. Alan won't be in that, it's a pro only meet. And then we go into the World Air Games. So they've been getting coached by Craig Gerard as well. They're taking it nice and smooth. Good stops on these formations. Now, it might look slow, but this is where you can get the points. If you're building the formations correctly, taking your time with no mistakes, that can be a lot more profitable than trying to go as fast as you can and getting lots and lots of busts and errors throughout. It's going to be an interesting strategy to see how it works for them. If they can keep this measure of calmness and control, that could be a winning tactic in the AA category. That is UAE and Vertigo. Interesting. I'm going to make a note of them. They're going to be one to watch.
And up next we have Team Bahrain, four-way, the national team, and they've been a military sports team for a while. Like the team actually formed up 10 years ago, but the progress of the team really accelerated 3 years ago when a UK experienced formation skydiving jump and Haron Face moved to Bahrain for a job that was non-skydiving related, but ended up like working with them, and they are definitely up and coming, and training has like harder than they used to. And there's a wind tunnel being built in Bahrain at the moment. It should be up and running in a month, close to the Formula One track. So if you visit Bahrain soon, you'll be able to fly in the tunnel there as well. And I'm not sure, but I've heard it's massive. I think it's a really big one as well. I've heard 18 foot maybe. So
I don't think so, is it?
No,
is
not
it?
this
no,
one?
I think it's another 16. It's called Gravity.
Okay.
I'll tell you, we've got a couple of their staff arriving today as well. Zoya Edwards is going to be here,
Okay.
so maybe we can
We
get
can
her in the
ask.
studio.
Maybe I'm getting my
chat to
Middle
her.
East opening tunnel wrong, but
I
definitely
just
sure
got a
that it's
message.
opening in a month.
I got a message today from somebody saying, when's the 37-foot tunnel opening in Dubai? So, well, that's news to me. That's another one of those rumours.
32, yeah, rumors are getting crazy.
37
eh?
foot? I don't think so. Not yet.
Not yet, but I can wait for that to happen.
be
Can
awesome,
you
wouldn't
imagine the race and the free flying we can do in there?
We'll go tracking and everything.
Oh, exactly, we could have actually tracking races.
Right, next, that was Bahrain. As our girls, this is the great team, local team, UAE. Very small, and they're filmed by Miriam on the outdoor skydives. Here we are now with their indoor. It's good. I've not seen them in competition yet. Let's have a look what they're doing. They're looking good. They've been trained. for the last, I think they got together last year, about a year ago. So they'll be competing at the World Air Games as well. Don't forget, get in touch with us on all the usual social media channels. Hashtag Clash of Champions. You can send a direct message through to me and Dommy here in the studio, and we can give you a shout out there. Everybody watching worldwide. This is Inflight Dubai here in the United Arab Emirates, and it is the biggest ever tunnel meet to be held anywhere in the world. $200,000 up for grabs. And we've got a great festival activity section outside the tunnel with everything to keep your family entertained.